identity as English men and women. And they wanted to continue being English, they just did not want to go to the Church of England. So when they heard about the New World, the Americas, they thought, this is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to go there, and then I will still be able to be English, but I'll be able to worship God how I want. So they joined up with the Virginia Company, the Virginia Shipping Company, and they got a boat. They actually got 2 boats. One of them was named Bailey. The Mayflower. Did you know there was another one? Do you know what it was named? What? No, that was Christopher Columbus's, but that was a good guess. Yes? No? That's okay. Think about it for a second. Okay, it was called the Speedwell. Did you guys ever hear that?
Yes.
The Speedwell. So they started their voyage, and then things started getting wet. They started springing leaks in the Speedwell, and it was dangerous, and they couldn't continue on their voyage, so they turned back around and went back to England. When they got back to England, they tried to fix it. They started their voyage again, and it still didn't work, so they turned around and went back. So most of the people who were on the Speedwell ended up joining the people on the Mayflower. So it was a tight squeeze. It was a shipping company. It was not a cruise ship. Has anybody been on a cruise here? You have? Oh, I'm so jealous. I've never been on a cruise. But it looks pretty nice. Lots of rooms, a swimming pool, lots of food. This was not a cruise ship. This was not. This was a cargo ship. This means that there was this big room underneath the deck. And everybody stayed under that deck. 102 people in one room. Does anybody have to share a room in here? Yeah. Yes. You have to share a room. It gets kind of frustrating sometimes, doesn't it?
Very.
Yes. Could you imagine sharing with 101 other people? 5?
Can you open it
4?
and just record it? Yeah.
Could you imagine sharing one room with 101 other people who weren't able to take a bath? Who were seasick? Could you imagine sharing one room with 101 other people who couldn't take a bath, who were seasick, and who, some of them, brought their pet dogs? There were 2 dogs on the Mayflower. A Mastiff? Does anybody know what a Mastiff dog is? They're huge. They are huge dogs. So there was a Mastiff and there was a Spaniel. And they even said that there were probably cats on the Mayflower. You know why?
What about the tree?
Yes. That's a good question.
Please don't. The cats.
Huh? Oh, no, there were cats that were in the United States, it wasn't the United States then, it was the New World, the Americas. But they had, you'd be miserable, they had mice. They had grain on the boat, and there were mice. So they brought cats to catch the mice. So, okay, it was stinky, it was crowded, they hit a storm.
Whoa.
They hit a big storm, and it almost sunk them. It messed up their ship. Luckily, they had some equipment from Holland that they were able to fix their ship. But because of this big storm, it veered them off course. Do y'all see this right here? You see this line?
Yeah.
This was their planned journey. Can you tell where the storm hit?
Yes. Right, turned around.
Right around there, huh?
They turned around.
No, they didn't turn around. This is where the storm hit, and it blew them off course. So instead of landing in Northern Virginia, they landed
Plymouth.
at Plymouth, Cape Cod. Okay? So, let's talk about this trip. There were 102 people. There were 30 crew members. Now, I've read different recollections, but they're saying anywhere from 22 to 31 kids were on this ship. Could you imagine taking 22 to 31 kids on a ship 66 days across the Atlantic Ocean?
Sorry, I covered my finger with it for a second.
Hold
My
on,
finger was
hold on,
covered for.
listen. The oldest member of on the ship was 64 years old. Okay? So he's probably a grandpa. The youngest, when they left England, was 1 year old. Now, I don't even like taking my kids to Walmart. Could you imagine taking them across the Atlantic Ocean for 66 days? Did you know even 2 babies were born on the Mayflower? 2 of them. One's name was Oceanic, which is funny because it sounds like ocean, right? That's why they named him Oceanic. And the other one was named Peregrine, which means, Peregrine, it does almost, doesn't it? It means traveling from far away. It was a boy, I believe. Okay, so let's see. They decided they better just go ahead and land on Cape Cod because it was getting cold, right? Well, the trip was really hard, and it was really long, and a lot of people got sick.
Did they have anything to eat?
Some people died.
So,
Let's talk about what they ate. Who asked what they ate? You?
yeah.
Okay. Well, it says in all the articles that I found, it says that they ate dried meat.
Beef jerky.
Is beef jerky dried meat?
Yummy.
Awesome. So, I thought, why don't we go ahead and eat like a pilgrim right before lunchtime? Does that sound good? Okay.
Right
So they ate, listen. It said they had dried cheese. I forgot the cheese, y'all. I'm sorry. But it said they had dried meat. It said they had dried fruit. Now, they probably didn't have raisins because grapes were really expensive back then. But they had other dried fruit. But we're just going to say raisins today, okay? And has anybody heard of hardtack or hard biscuits?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I could not find hardtack or hard biscuits. But it said they were made of flour, water, and salt. So I went to Walmart and I looked at the ingredient list, and it says flour, salt, and molasses, which is a sweetener. So it wasn't as sweet. But this is very similar to hardtack. This is what they had to eat. Do you like beef jerky?
Yes.
Do you think you'd like it after 66 days? Oh, guys, I don't like being yelled at. Can you guys talk normal? Thank you. Okay, and hardtack. Could you imagine eating this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes.
All right, I need 2 helpers. Can I get you guys to go wash your hands while I'm talking? Thank you so much. Yes, you too. Thank you. And yes, you. I'll need 3 helpers. I'm sorry. Perfect. We're good. Don't have feet. Okay, wash your hands. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to have them pass out a piece to each of you guys and a few raisins, okay?
I don't like
Oh, well, you don't have to eat it. This is just an idea of what they were eating.
probably
Oh,
would
5,
like any of them.
4. Thank you so much. Okay, so while they are passing this out, I'm going to read you a story. You all ready? Okay. We're going to talk about the Pilgrims. This is called The Story of the Pilgrims. Once upon a time, in the land of England, there lived a small group of people called Pilgrims. The Pilgrims were unhappy because the King of England would not let them worship God in their own way.